Hello guys, this is Life Saeed and today we are going to rank worldwide food cuisines based on how appetizing and unappetizing it is. I also wanted to apologize for the long absence since I had college that I needed to deal with, which was my main priority over YouTube. So that's why I was gone for 4 to 5 months and that stuff. But since I'm in break right now, turns out I'm back and then we're gonna be posting more bangers. I promise that I'll be posting more in the future and that stuff, but I have to see if I can get my schedule sorted out or something. But anyway, let's get to the ranking. Up first on the list we got Mediterranean food or Middle Eastern food, and and the reason why is because it has a different variety of foods that you can choose, such as falafels, kebabs, shawarmas. Their hummus is so delicious and appetizing. And a lot of the foods in the Middle Eastern culture just makes your taste buds dance and that stuff. And also the desserts. So there are desserts such as baklava. In my opinion, baklava is just too sweet and mid for me. But I would say their main course is more tastier than their desserts. But overall it is really good though. So with that being said, it's gonna go up to the best cuisine. So Filipino food, I'm gonna rank this in a real good tier, mainly because their desserts are so tasty and looking appetizing. Even though I never had their desserts before, but I'm willing to have them very soon and that stuff. And I'm gonna go see if there's any Filipino restaurants around my area so I can actually give out a taste test of a halo and some obe pies because they do look very appetizing. And I've heard about their food adobo and that stuff, but I never had adobo before, so I'm not really sure about that, but looking at the eyes of it, it does look tasty. Unless if the adobo is pork, because it would be so not halal mode. Since I'm Muslim myself and I cannot eat pork, I would just only take the adobo chicken or adobo beef. So that's why I'm putting it in a really good tier. Now up next we do have the classic, also known as the American food cuisine, but I gotta say it is pretty good in their own ways, but it's not good as African food or any of the other cuisines that might be better than American food. So with that being said, I'm putting it slightly below the tier of Filipino food, just because I think it's overrated and I just think it goes a little too much sometimes for me. But their food overall and their dishes overall are pretty good. Up next we got African food. Now I'm putting this into the best cuisine tier list for obvious reasons. A, because I'm East African, and B, because their foods are tasty as fuck. And I gotta fucking say, the Angela that I did had growing up is tasty as shit. It all the flavors and all the spices blend with each other very well. And I also like their jollof rice and that stuff, even though I know this is a West African dish and that stuff, but I do like their jollof rice. I never had their fufu before, but I might give that one a try very soon. Up next we got Turkish food. Now I'm putting this in the okay tier, mainly because I just think their desserts are just mediocre at that point, but their dishes overall is just too overpowering and that stuff, and there's just way too much going on in my opinion. Even though I do like Mediterranean food a lot, I know Turkish food is very similar to Mediterranean food, but I just don't know. I may have had some bad Turkish food and that stuff, or very mediocre Turkish food, but in the future I might give out some Turkish food a try, and then I might rethink about my opinions about Turkish food someday. But as of right now, I'm putting this in the okay tier. Up next on the tier list we got Indian food. Now I'm putting this shit in the fucking best cuisine, mainly for obvious reasons, is because that whenever, as soon as I put in the food in my mouth, any Indian food that I ever had in my life into my mouth, it just makes my taste buds dance. And it's also one of the best cuisines I ever had throughout my existence. Unlike American food, it is far less bland than American food. It also is far less bland than British food though. And plus the only reason why chicken tikka masala, chicken tikka masala is technically not Indian. It's actually originated from the UK and that stuff. But I also am a big fan of their butter chicken and chana masala. They just make my taste buds dance. And I also love their fucking veggie samosas and their garlic naan and that stuff. And I also love to try their palak paneer, even though I never had it. It looks delicious and appetizing. But still, I'm putting this in the best cuisine though. Now, up next we got Mongolian food. Now, before I started this video, I did not really know about anything about Mongolian food until I actually was ranking the food cuisines into their tier and that stuff. But as soon as I got into Mongolia, I just like searched that shit up because I didn't know like what the fuck was it. I didn't know what the fuck do they eat in Mongolia. So I basically searched that shit up, and as soon as I searched up their food and that stuff, I mean, even though I never had it before, but looking at the eyes of it, it looks fucking unappetizing. I'm sorry for all the Mongolian folks that have to like hear this and that stuff. I'm putting this in a fucking really bad tier. Up next we got Greek food. Now Greek food is straight up going into really good food tier, mainly because I like their gyros and their kebabs. Even though I might try their like desserts and that stuff in the future and their like other dishes, since I never been exposed to much Greek food ever throughout my life, I'm gonna like give that shit a try in the future. So like, yeah, stay tuned for those type of videos in the future. Up next we got Thai food. Now I'm putting this shit into really good food tier all the way through, mainly because I had their green Thai chicken curry and their yellow Thai chicken curry and their pad pao and that stuff, and I gotta say it's one of the most appetizing dishes that I ever had. Up next we got Italian food, and holy shit, I've been waiting for this moment in my whole entire existence. I'm putting this shit in the best food cuisine tier, mainly because it is appetizing as shit. I can basically like smell all the fucking lasagnas, raviolis, and all the fucking pastas from a mile from here. And also I'm really like kind of craving for Italian food right now. I mean, it's not just their pastas and raviolis that I wanted, but I also wanted to try their sandwiches. I also had their Neapolitan pizza, and I gotta say it is way better than the American style pizza. It's not like filled with too many grease, just like American did it, which makes the flavors blend into each other very well, and it tastes like a million times better than American pizza. And up next we got Mexican food cuisine, and I'm putting this shit into fucking best cuisine, mainly because of their fucking enchiladas and also because of their quesadillas and stuff. And I know most Americans pronounce it quesadillas, which is basically a bullshit way to pronounce quesadillas. And also, it's not just their quesadillas and enchiladas, but it's also their other Mexican dishes such as carne asada, birria tacos, elotes, and Mexican snacks such as gosito. I can't have chicharron because I'm Muslim, so I'm gonna skip that. I know they do have their Mexican desserts, and I gotta say it's appetizing as fuck. I just cannot remember the names of the Mexican desserts on the top of my head, but like I had their like, wait, let me search it up. Oh yeah, my dumbass finally remembers what Mexican dessert I actually like most. It's dulce tres leches. So that's why I'm putting this shit into fucking best cuisine tier. Up next on the tier we got French food. Now the only thing that I like about French food is their steak frites. That's it. I'm putting this shit in the okay food tier. No question fucking ass. I know people are gonna be spazzing in the comment section saying that I'm not like giving enough detail on this shit. I don't give a shit. French food is mid. But you know what else is worse than French food? British food. I'm putting this shit in the bad fucking food tier. Mainly because of their fucking fish casserole, their fucking bland ass fucking food that they just don't bother to season at all. So that's why I'm putting this shit in the fucking bad tier. The only thing that stands out British food is their fish and chips and that stuff, which I actually do like. Although it is very bland, I like to like put a hint of vinegar into it. Now next we got Chinese food. I gotta say Chinese food is overrated as hell. I mean, I had some like okay Chinese food, bad Chinese food, and like good Chinese food. The only thing that I like about Chinese food is their broccoli and beef, but everything else is very mid. It's either too sweet or too salty, so I'm putting this shit in the okay food tier. I mean, I know a lot of people are gonna get angry at me for just putting that shit in the okay tier or in the mediocre tier. It's mediocre as fuck because it's overrated as hell, in my opinion. Okay, up next we got Korean food. Now I'm putting Korean food into like really good tier, mainly because of their fucking kimchi and also their Korean barbecue and also like their beef bulgogi. So that's why I'm putting this shit into fucking really good tier. And yeah, I mean, beef bulgogi is really fucking tasty. It just salivates my mouth a lot. Up next, we got Vietnamese food. I'm putting this shit in a real good tier. I had their like spring rolls before without having any shrimp since I'm allergic to that shit. I mean, I noticed about my shrimp allergy since I was 12 after I was eating some shrimp popcorns. I want to try more of their Vietnamese food, however, so I'm kind of looking forward for it. So I got it. With that being said, it's gonna be in the same tier as American food, which is like pretty good food tier. Okay, up next we got Spain. I'm gonna put this into really good food tier, mainly because their empanadas are really good in that stuff. But everything else I haven't even tried, so I'm kind of looking forward to trying it very soon and that stuff. Up next we got Canadian food. Now I'm putting this shit into okay food tier, mainly because their food is bland as fuck, but it's not bland as British food though. The only thing that stands out is the poutine though, because I had their poutine before and I gotta say it's good though. It might be too salty for my taste buds, but it is good though. Up next we got German food. I'm putting this shit in a really bad tier. Disgusting as hell. I don't like their food though. I'm sorry to say this, I just don't like German food. It just doesn't really vibe out in my taste. Russian food, however, is really fucking disgusting. Their borscht, as soon as I looked their main dish, which is borscht and that stuff, that really made me sick and that stuff. Putting sour cream in a beef stew just makes me sick and that's. I know I'm talking and yapping some crazy shit right now, but I'm just putting this shit into really bad food tier. And lastly, we got Japanese food. Just like Chinese food, it is overrated. I mean, their sushis don't really stand out very well, but like it's okay. So I'm putting this shit in okay food tier. And that is it, folks. That is all the worldwide food cuisine tier list that I can make throughout this video. I hope you can guys check my other tier list videos, and I hope you guys can also check out my other videos that I made beforehand. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.